when we're talking about marijuana, pharmacies, and so forth, people come with any excuse and any reason to get that prescription so they can have a doctor's certificate so they can smoke in the pharmacy and so on. And you know what? I find that the people who are into the drug pharmacy people, to me, they're criminals. And they have a sign of an evil mind because while they're purporting to have some legality and some concern about people who are hurting and want to help them out here. I think they're criminal at heart, and they just don't care about anybody because if they really study hard this drug thing, I mean, why would you put a chemical in your body that's unnecessary? You know what I mean? It's like, is that vitamins? Is it minerals? Is it something iron? Is it some mineral or vitamin or some need that the body has? Okay, I've never used any drug, and I'm okay. In fact, at my age, at 58, 59ish, I think I'm stronger than a lot of these 30-something-year-olds. In fact, my mind is clearer than many of these guys who are teenagers. Because in teaching in school sometimes, not that necessarily I'm not speaking in the domain that this child will be able to comprehend, but simply they started using alcohol and cigarettes and drugs so early that the mind's kind of like almost fried, and they just can't grasp certain concepts, right? And so you have educated people who are saying that, oh, drugs this and drugs that and whatever. I mean, what kind of education is that? I mean, they tell you that marijuana has a certain substance that I'm not sure, like it helps with pain if you have terminal cancer or whatever, but not everybody using it has terminal cancer. And somehow we've forgotten that marijuana is a gateway drug. It opens the way for people to go on other types of things because eventually marijuana doesn't deliver the type of kick that it might in the first and couple early instances. So that they say, man, I'm not getting the same high again. So they're going to something else, combination of things until they're destroyed. I meet many young people in town and I say, you know what? So this girl, she's a prostitute in LA. I say, tell me something. When you were in high school, what kind of person were you? You ever thought you'd be here? Oh no, I never thought about that. But how are you here? Well, she could get there a variety of ways. Somebody could hurt her, rape her, and somebody could force her to go there, put something in her drink and so forth. But then people have made decisions that lead them there. They start smoking. I mean, the high, as in Casey Anthony case, she was so out of it that she didn't even know she was going to get pregnant. She didn't even realize. I mean, she should have known. I don't know her education, but she should know this is ovulating time. I could get pregnant if I use these drugs or this alcohol and I get passed out and somebody, abuse me, I could get pregnant. I don't believe in abortions. I'm going to bring a child. Here this child, yeah. The whole 9 years, she could have looked down the road and so on. And so people get themselves into stuff that, and then sometimes the parents warn them, but they just feel as smart than the parents, or the enemy has come up with this generational gap in which, young people don't respect the elderly. And a lot of times, the elderly is showing scorn for the inexperienced youth and so forth. Like we had Betty White coming out trying to castigate young people, trying to increase this generational gap. But in places like Japan, I'm sure China, in the ancient world, in the older societies, people generally that are older have a lot of respect. Because you see, I don't care how educated a young person is, the parent still has more education, more real-term knowledge and experience than them. And a lot of times they'll go to the parents for advice. But when the parents advise them in areas that, like, don't do drugs, no, they say that if you tell them don't, they're going to do it. But what else can you tell them? Oh, use it sometimes. Or, oh, some people use it, but it hurt them. How are you going to go out doing it? And so, when they advocate in these drug situations, these pharmacies and all this kind of stuff, hey, you just wonder. It's like, why would folks advocate and do things that will get them down the road? The other day, a guy about 60 years, and in his mind, we have a problem. With me, I had no problem with this guy. I didn't want to fight him. I didn't want to do nothing. But he looks at me and he says, you know what? I ain't no old punk. No young boy will beat me. so he's going to get a pipe. Now, he's talking about me, and I'm just a couple years younger than him, maybe 2 years. Right? But he's looking so bad. He must have started doing stuff so early that he's washed up so much that me, who has never tried any of that, looking so much younger to him and stronger and everything else. But I'm sure that, I don't want to fight nobody, but I can neutralize that fight too that he had. I mean, I have the skills to do that. But don't waste your life and waste your time with this thing, because you're going to discover eventually that it doesn't work. And in ancient civilizations, people tried all these mind altering stuff. But you know what? At the end of your life, then you come back and realize that, oops, I see some more people that messed up real bad, And you ask them, if you had lived your life over again, would you do the same thing? Well, I guess they would, because they're just following the wrong leader, just following Satan, you see what I'm saying?